Hey guys, and welcome to our review of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. I'm your host, the Cinder Blaze, and with me today we have...
The frozen Stratos.
And strange words.
Alright, let's jump into episode 3. Uh, it,
Three.
oh, 2. Okay, so we're
And
gonna... Sorry, we just watched episode 3, but we're gonna be lumping episode 2 and 3 into this review. And since episode 2 was just a duel, it's going to go by really quickly. How did you guys feel about the duel? Was it... Since it was our first duel in the series.
Honestly, it felt pretty tutorial, but there wasn't really anything exciting that went on outside of our introduction to the Link summons
Yeah.
and the mechanism they used to get it.
Yeah, and it also gave us like a brief tutorial of speed duels. I mean, they didn't mention it in the first episode, but then we actually get to see him actually learn about
How
the
different
rules.
are these speed duels from like 5Ds? And are there any other incarnations of speed duels?
the 5D speed duels were fairly different, I believe, because they had weird like speed cards that you could only activate while doing things in speed duels. And this one, I don't think they have the mechanics so far,
Uh,
but I think they have the skill thing and replacement of that, but I'm not 100% sure.
yeah, from 5Ds, it kind of reminds me of Magic, where you have like a resource system where you have to like use up speed counters to play some
Right.
spell cards. And for this one, it's more like a regular format, except it's a bit more restricted. You only have 3 spots, and
it's
they have like a special
condensed.
ability, which is just basically they take the format from Duel Links and just apply it to the anime. So there's a bit more of a connection there between that and the game.
Are they making like a big push for Duel Links? Is that why?
It's already pretty big, but I don't know if this makes it even bigger. Then that's just gonna help Konami, I guess, right? Or Komani
Yeah.
at this point. Oh yeah, and we find out that Yusaku's not gonna be, or at the moment is not the Egao machine that Yuya was, and
What does that
The
mean?
what?
the Egao machine that just pumps out smiles, because that was his
Hegao?
Egao.
Ahegao, right?
Egao. Egao.
No,
No.
no.
Okay, I don't know what we're going for, but we'll just go right past it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait, what are you guys like confused about? Like my terminology, or did you not?
No, I have no idea what your word is. I know what Jordan's word is, and I'm not happy about it. Not happy that I know that word.
Oh, okay. I know what Jordan's talking about,
Okay, there we go.
but they are related. Okay, sorry. It's
Okay.
it's a Yu-Gi-Oh meme, and Frozen Stratus and Strange Words aren't. They don't really watch the previous ones all too much.
Yeah,
Or
I'm not a Yukio meme man over here.
yeah. Okay, moving on from that. This guy's actually a strategist because he's got to be if he's like an expert hacker. He kind of has
How
like
can you tell? Because he has his BuzzFeed list to tell you what you need to know in order to watch the rest of this show. I have 3 parts to my backstory that I need to explain to you this episode.
all right. I guess you're like a bit salty after the way he just shoehorned it into like the last
It's-
episode.
It's hilarious how it. I mean, like, I'm not angry about it. It's just really funny and jarring, really jarring, especially when like it's kind of building up for him to say like mainly like a one-liner or something.
Okay,
like,
you're-
really cool.
You're judging the first time he used his like not the first time, but like the second time he's using his 3. Is it the thing where he explains things in 3s?
Yeah.
I feel like that one-off just treated as a one-off, and this episode it felt a bit more natural because he was kind of like breaking down the duel in his mind.
hmm
Yeah, so...
What are you talking about? He listed off parts of his backstory.
Oh, was that this episode? I thought it was last episode. Sorry,
Episode
I
two.
still have
Wait,
episode 3
what episode
stuck.
are we on?
We're on episode
We're
2.
on-
But
Yeah.
sorry, I have episode three stuck in my head. So
No, you can't. You couldn't have because there was no duel in episode 3.
what?
You said that he. What?
Moving on. Okay, and the moment where you use it in like this duel was a bit annoying, but it's supposed to be a theme because that's the way he just breaks down information. So I'm fine with it as long as they don't use it terribly. I feel like that was just
in terms of episode 2, the way they feed, like, up till that point, the way they fed you information just kind of felt like a list of stuff you needed to know. Like episode 1, definitely just going through the list of characters and or subplots that you needed to know. Not really any information about this universe up until episode 2. Then we got that actual full list about his own backstory. That was a little jarring.
Yeah, it's kind of like they finished episode 1, and whoever's in charge, the director or writer, whatever, is just like, we forgot 3 things. We kind of forgot 3 things in the first episode. Let's just
every episode
stick it in there.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it just kind of like forces it in the middle of the duel. But aside from that, his actual strategy in using his monsters and playing around with the link mechanic, as you said, it was a really good tutorial for how the link monsters worked.
Yeah.
And they dealt with it in like one episode.
You gotta just get on your board and pull them out of the data storm.
Yeah, just go into that horrifically dangerous storm.
Oh man, that was probably my least favorite part about this episode, and it might just influence everything from this point on, because every duelist has a special skill, and his is when his life points reach like 1,000 or below, he gets to pull out a card from a data storm, which is, it's plot BS, but it's like written as a rule in the series, and that's just, you can't write bullshit as a rule this friggin' early in the series.
Are you sure? Because they certainly did it.
Here's the thing about skills. It opens up opportunities for such BS skills where it's just like, oh yeah, my skill is for this turn, I draw a card for every single monster I special summon. It'll be something stupid like that for a villain in the future.
Yeah, and like for villains, I'm totally fine with them having a stupid mechanic, because the way that some of them were set up in the past, Arc V not so much, but in like Zexal, the villain was really strong, so like 3 protagonists had to beat him, or that had to duel him at once, so he got like a special buffer so he can duel 3 people like on an even-ish playing field. But here, it doesn't feel like that's going to happen because our main character's a loner. So I'm just like, these skills are just going to allow for the stupidest duel writing. Maybe they can do something smart with them, but they're just like, it's kind of, it makes the duels a bit more unrelatable, because I can't just be like, alright, my skill is I get to draw 3 or 4 cards now.
Where did these skills come from?
That's just a thing they added for this season.
Yeah.
They just happen?
Yeah, it's probably something that they download in their, dual disc when they go into Vrains.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because like the Knights of...
unique to them.
Yeah, the Knights of Hanoi have the draw 2, and since they're hackers, I'm kind of fine with them having a bit of a strong skill, because they're trying to cheat, they're trying to cheat the system, so it makes a bit more sense. But
my skill is Pot of Groot now.
But what does it do?
Yeah. Oh man.
But
I don't think we have to worry about anything too OP yet. I think that
if we're starting OP,
draw 2 cards seems pretty strong, and it is, but you can take this pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Take this pretty crazy level, so.
But it's a once per duel thing, so it's not like it's gonna be abusable, at least for now.
I suppose.
Yeah. Also, I think, going back to his special skill where he gets to just pull out a link monster once his life points are 1,000 or below, it kind of takes away some of the the threat in each episode, because we just know once his
Oh,
life points are 1,000 or below, just wait for that data storm. He'll get his link monster.
Yep.
Yeah, no, because you know it's not the end. There's like zero tension.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. I don't know why I said
Oh.
threat.
It's a T word.
Yeah, but it still works in this situation because trying to defeat him and take something from him, so kind of. You guys have any thoughts on episode 2? Give me just like
I mean, not anything important enough for us to, not cover in 3.
yeah.
I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah, because like all the aftermath of the duel starts in episode 3, right?
Yeah.
I think
I feel like episode 3 is a stronger installment than 2 was.
And 1, because this was...
Yeah.
It wasn't an exposition dump because a lot of people were doing things and reacting to things that were happening in episode, but...
Yeah. This was definitely more of a world-building episode, and I feel like it's something we probably should have gotten for episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1 had too much exposition for it to work.
Well, they needed to set up things, but they did...
No, they just shoehorned a ton of information in just so that they could say that they did it earlier. This is technically set up. We put it all in the intro. You gotta just read through all of
I know
it.
what you mean. I was gonna say, they needed to set things up, but they did a bit too much setup.
Yeah, I think Corey said at the beginning of the podcast, where they had a lot of subplots going on, and subplots aren't usually things that you just pack in the first episode. You usually have like a main plot, and then subplots are kind of like beneath that, and they kind of just add to the main plot. But we just had like all of them at once, and I'm just like, there's too many storylines to follow. I don't know which one's the main one. Let's just... I just know that we have this main character just do the hell he does. And what he does in episode 2 is just beat a hacker in front of everyone. Like, usually he's a bit more of an enigmatic character, like mysterious character at the beginning of the series. And now everyone sees him beating this, famous hacker group, or someone from the famous hacker group. So everyone's like, oh my god, this guy's so freaking awesome. And he was doing like a speed duel. And his popularity just skyrockets.
What if we started episode 3 at the peak of his popularity, and then we just kind of discover the world from there?
I feel like we still would have needed the scene where he gets Ignis, which is the AI thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Also, he devoured the virtual reality account of the Knights of Hanoi.
That thing was... I was really confused by that, because... Okay, like, when he captures Ignis, he's like, I've locked you. You have no ability to modify anything related to that. And he kind of just pops out of it, just devours him. It's like,
Well, no. Not necessarily in the real world, but in the virtual world, he might have been able to manifest.
I guess, but it's just... That doesn't seem like it's very safe. It's like, I go to the virtual world. He just ate me.
Yeah, and apparently, like, if you get dealt damage with your virtual body, it can affect your real body. I mean, that's the same thing that happened in, like, Sword Art, I guess. But it's a bit less explained here. But I'm just gonna assume that it's... Oh, go ahead.
What happens when, like... I'm assuming they're moving in a physical space still, right?
Yeah, but they don't follow the physics of regular space.
Right, because they teleport.
Yeah. So, the line between that is something that they need, they haven't established, and it's probably...
Is it virtual reality or augmented reality?
It's virtual reality from what I can tell.
Okay, so then their bodies aren't doing the exact same thing.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because we haven't seen a transition from them in the real world to them in the virtual world.
Right, but then why was there the threat of the dude exploding if there wasn't, like, he said it could harm you physically?
It's probably like because like all of your sensory stuff is connected to your virtual body. So if that damages that, like, it could send feedback. So
I
from
see.
that standpoint, I kind of understand it. I just wish they clarified like how they get into Vrains, because we just saw like the Henshin sequence and he was just like in it, and we didn't. Maybe he like went through a portal, but like where's his real body? That kind of stuff we didn't really get, and what occurs later in this episode, I kind of wish we had a little bit more of that so I can understand what the hell's going on a bit more.
Right. I feel like the fact that we're even having this conversation, or we have to like try to explain it ourselves, really, it kind of shines a light on how kind of weak the show has been explained to us thus far.
Yeah, it had
Like, they really got to do a better job with
it
that.
had a pretty
And if we're having a hard time following it, God only knows what kids are going to be doing.
I don't think the kids care. That's the thing, because they don't really think about it.
Oh,
Well, I mean, like, you watch episode 1, what's going to hook you? They're all just talking. Episode 2 is when the fight happens.
Well, there is some action scenes in episode 1, so it's not completely devoid of things that
Yeah.
would catch a child's eye, and they're already used to Yu-Gi-Oh. Aside from that, let's move on to the Soul Industries, because they actually did kind of develop that. I don't want to say like antagonist, but that group, right? Because like we did get see a glimpse of them in the first episode, but we didn't really know who they were and what they were doing. But now we kind of see like they're the people in control of Vrains. They're doing security work, just stopping people from enjoying dueling for some reason. We don't know why. But we do know that we did have speed duels in the past, and we don't anymore. So they're probably responsible for why it went away, and probably it's why they don't want people to keep on speed dueling. Or they might have some, hidden motives surrounding the speed duels, which is kind of interesting, but it's kind of like, I don't really have... It could be nothing at all,
Aren't they also... Oh, go ahead.
Like, theoretically, speed duels could be like, oh, wait, the only way you could have data storms is data storms could, like, destabilize the world or some junk. We gotta get into that world-ending business eventually, so maybe it's speed duels.
Yeah. But...
Maybe, like, you have to... You know how waves come from, like, just disruptions in the water? What if,
comes from
like,
the moon!
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it disturbs the... Anyway, like, if you have still water, maybe that's all the regular internet data that's going around, but then once you, like, move the internet around too much, it becomes a wave, and you gotta ride it in order to duel. You're effing up all the internet when you're riding on it.
You missed the whole surfing on the web reference there, pal. But
Yeah.
surfing the internet.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know if I can handle that
Yeah.
the whole time that we do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
After like that whole security scene, we do get to see what's his face, Zaizan, the guy in the suit with the blue hair.
Zeisel?
Is Zaizan something? Forgot his like first name. I should probably look that up. But he goes,
contracting all those duelists.
yeah, to defeat Playmaker. It kind of confused me at first because he wants people to like get off the speed duels, but then like after we see this, it's like, oh, because he's planning on making it a bit dangerous because he's gonna be he wants the Knights of Hanoi and other duelists to go and like fight Yusaku, and that they kind of want to steer duelists away from the speed dueling way.
Well, I mean, I guess
unless they're strong enough.
In an effort to control like who fights him.
Yeah.
You
So
know what I mean? Like, if he's gonna put all these he only wants antagonists to be out there for Yusaku. He doesn't want anyone else to like possibly help him out or befriend him. He wants only his cronies.
not just his cronies. Like they're against the Knights of Hanoi because they're trying to take down Soul Industries. So he just wants like he wants the battlefield to kind of like be under his control.
You know,
in a sense.
honestly, I'm confused as to how many different factions there truly are here.
We have Yusaku, the Knights of Hanoi, and Soul Industries. So Soul Industries is the one who like creates Vrains. Knights of Hanoi are the hackers that are trying to like disrupt it or trying to get something out of it. And then Yusaku's an independent faction who's kind of
Then who's the one that's contracting all the?
Soul Industries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like from all we know about the Knights of Hanoi are their base is like mostly in Vrains, and then they have like that their leader has like a father somewhere who's ill, right?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think we kind of like jumped to that bit because Yusaku manages to hack Ignis, and it's kind. I qualify it as a torture scene because he's kind of like he was being a real dick to him and just kind of
he
like
was.
just
Like,
mutes
I'm
him.
going
Just
to kill you if you don't cooperate. All right.
yeah, and he just goes through all of his data. You know, just like starts reading his mind and shit. And is like, oh, I found these MP4 bits. I'm just gonna put them together.
Yeah, all his memory is conveniently stored as MP4s.
Yeah, and then our bearded fellow who's an incompetent hacker, so he's just gonna be there in the background for now. Just
Yeah,
says,
no, I think it was. Yeah, you said like, thank you for immediately making yourself not useful to the story.
yeah, because like he just announces that he's not gonna be doing anything useful besides maybe hacking when Yusaku's dueling, and that's about it. And then we got like a CW show, but he also is like gave like that exposition is like, oh yeah, you can like foresee things in data, right?
He can sense things.
Oh
in
yeah,
data.
yeah.
Things. So he's got the data powers.
Wait, but
You got
we
the
haven't
data senses.
Seen that yet?
We've probably
Right?
seen it in like the first episode because he's kind of like wary of his surroundings, and he kind of like hears things. But
Also, I think he sensed the data storm before it showed up.
yeah, I'm not sure if he sensed
Right.
that data storm, but like throughout the first episode, I think he kind of had like that sixth sense thing going on, and this one it kind of just like completely fires because he like triggers Revolver, who's the leader of the Knights of Hanoi. He kind of like sees him in like the virtual world, which is just like it's a thing, and
Yeah.
it's really unclear. But when we see Revolver talking to his lackey, he starts breaking things down in three, so we automatically know that there's a connection between those two. And also, Yusaku was reflecting on how he already knew how to speed duel, even though it was something that occurred like many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's not some weird time travel shit, but it's probably just like he had a dank childhood and then he forgot everything.
Wait, so I mean, if he's doing that 3 thing too, wait, who are you referring to?
Then Revolver, the guy with the red hair.
Right. So, and the main character Yusaku lost his brother.
No, he didn't. That bearded guy lost his brother.
Oh, friend. Well, then I don't know anymore.
Maybe he lost his brother too, but
Yeah.
Maybe he has no brother or parents or anything.
oh, but he does have a little cleaning robot, which I thought that was my favorite part of the episode.
I want to see that robot become the most important character besides the main character.
I want that robot to become the main villain.
Oh, that's also good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like hella funny, just cleaning like with a small ass little sponge, and Yang's all like, "Hey, are you stupid?" And it's like just has this whole dialogue with the little cleaning like a Roomba, and
Yeah.
it's like, "Hey, I can make you smarter, become my liking." And it's like, all right, it's like that pause. Was just like,
Sure. Great.
Yeah, that makes sense.
and it kind of reminds me of another character from Zexel, where they're in Zexal. They have public trash cans that are robots, so they just go around just collecting trash. And
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I remember that.
yeah, and frequently they would one of them would go around and pick up our main character and just throw him in the trash because so it was
correctly identified as true. No.
yeah.
You're garbage.
So it was like kind of like a running gag, and then the main character later adopts the public garbage robot. So it becomes like a maid, and then later it becomes a love interest for the robot of his main rival. So they kind of have a thing. So, I mean...
Wait, so are robot companions a thing now? Is that something they've added to the...
No, because they didn't have any in Arc V, but it means that the robots can have development, because they had plenty in Zexal, ironically.
That's incredible.
This is a series about virtual reality and AI, so hey, perfect chance
Yeah,
to do it.
yeah, whatever works, man.
Yeah.
Whatever boats your float.
I mean, I don't want
Whatever
to...
surfs your net. You know?
Yeah.
Ain't no kink shaming here.
But anyways,
Yeah.
is there anything else to know?
I doubt it.
For this episode, no, but like we did get the preview of next episode where we see him dueling Go, who is like the strong man, and apparently he's like a champion who fights for kids because he has that little badge, or not badge, but belt in the background.
Yeah, that's
Champion's
adorable.
Which,
It was nice.
yeah, it was a nice like little kind
I
of
thought,
softens
like,
his character.
At first, I thought he made it himself. I was like, oh, that's weird. I mean, not as weird if you're like following a childhood dream, but if you made that like 2 days ago to make yourself feel better, that's a little weird.
It's kind of funny though. I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, but the guy in the suit also picked up on that. And it's like, he seems a bit dangerous, but he doesn't seem like a duelist, so he's not going to be that dangerous.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thoughts for this episode. You guys have any closing remarks?
Overall, this is just kind of fine. This feels like...
I haven't seen anything particularly offensive.
Yeah, like but nothing's jumping out at me, and I feel like maybe that's the most offensive thing of all. Like, it's not grabbing me.
I think all Yu-Gi-Oh series have a slow start, except maybe 5Ds, but then that had like a...
No, Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, you just start off like freaking sending people a Shadow Realm right away. Boom. But no, there was one thing that I want to see more Playmaker doppelgangers.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we frequently forgot about that. But yeah, I mean, it did help us world build a bit, because people can't just make themselves look however the hell they want. So why not make themselves look like Playmaker? Which, I mean, I think they got the gag out, and they won't really do that again. But who knows?
I mean, maybe in the background a bit.
Yeah.
Especially if the animators feel like they need to fill out a crowd. I just put a few Yusakus in there.
Nah, they're just gonna make like the generic like robot people with the...
Oh yeah, that was weird.
It works. I mean, when I see a reporter,
Yeah.
that's kind of what they look like.
I know, but like, if you have the ability to be whatever you want, why would you choose the same thing as someone else? You know what I mean?
Oh well, it was a big news event, and like at a time like this, that's something that would happen.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of feel the same thing. It hasn't really wowed me, but like it usually takes Yu-Gi-Oh a bit longer, but
Okay.
it hasn't had a good duel yet, or like any like exciting moments in a duel. The animation's a bit off for those, so hopefully they get like a good CGI-able monster that I can probably like fangasm over, because like at the moment it's just like, okay, he's gonna be doing his own thing, everyone's gonna be doing their own thing,
Yeah.
and then it feels really slow right now.
It does. I feel like a good part of Yu-Gi-Oh is the spectacle, and not having that, at least this early on, is a bit jarring.
Yeah, but they are trying like this different style where they do like plot duel, plot, duel. I don't think that's going to work in the long run. So, but if something triggers the plot from, like, you know, sparking, then I feel like that's all it really needs to kind of, like, get rid of all of its other, not get rid of all of its other weaknesses, but it'll just, like, help cover some of those up, you know?
Right.
Because, like, once they start having fun duels, then there's not really much that... I mean, that's kind of like their flaw right now.
Yeah.
Alright. I think I've been rambling on for way too long. That didn't really make any sense. But I'm just going to call it an episode. Make sure to check our description down below for all of our social medias, individual and for the whole Gold Mango channel. And we also have a Discord channel down there as well, so make sure to join that. We have a better understanding of it now, so just feel free to hop in.
One day after we said that fine. Okay.
I do have a better understanding. I can click a button and I'm in a call. Boom, bam.
Now no.
Oh yeah, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and dingle my dongle down below. The little bell thing.
Baby.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.
See ya.